Welcome to the Camnet Breakfast Wednesday edition. I'm your usual host, Patrick Soko, and later on the program I'll be joined by Sharon Kalimbula. We'll be co-hosting the program together, and today we have a number of exciting segments and interviews on the program that we have lined up just for you, our dear viewers. You can stick around your TV set so that you can get the proceedings of the breakfast. We are going to be having PF and also leader of the opposition in Parliament, Brian Munduvile, who is also a PF aspiring presidential candidate, who will help us discuss some of the issues pertaining to current affairs. We're also going to have Zambia Sports Fans Association patron, Mr. Peter Makembo, who is going to help us discuss the AFCON and other issues that are trending in the world of football. Because so we already know, like we witnessed yesterday, we had the appointment of the Chipolo Polo coach, and we're going to be discussing that in the program today. And just now we are going to take our first segment, which we call Morning Boost, so that we get to exercise before we get deep into our conversation. Stay tuned to Camnet.
Good morning, Camnet viewers. Welcome to our quick morning show. And I am your presenter, Isaac Matsa. I'm here so that we can do a bit of exercise before you jump on that vehicle and go and do your work. Let's do a warm-up as usual. I'm excited. It's a beautiful morning, a brand new day. You better be positive and do what you know. Let's go. Hamstring, stay at it. Let's do now two each. Let's go. 1, 2, and 1, 2. Stay there. 2, 1. Try it. Tell your hubby to join you. Let's do it together. 2 each. 2 each. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and 4, 3, 2. Back to step touch. Let's go. 4, 3, 2. Hamstrings. 4, 3, 2. Back to step touch. And 4, 3, 2. Hamstrings. Matching. Let's match. Lift your knees high. Hip, 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 hip. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Let's do a warm-up. Okay. So that was your warm-up today. And we're going to do something else now. The first thing we're going to do, I'm giving you some squats. Okay, here we go now. Put your feet together. Watch my body posture. Let's go now. 20 at a go. If you can't do 20, please do 10. Okay, let's go. Let's go, mommy, daddy, involve your children. 1, 2, 4, go down. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 20. I'm gonna face this direction. Go! 10 more. Okay, 20. Still with squats. Take a break. Relax your legs. Good morning workout, isn't it? Let's go, another 10 now. Watch the space. This is what I do now. 1, 2, 3, 4. Try it. 5, 6. Good for your body. 7, 8, 9, 10. So that was 10. That's the second one. In case you had too much of Nishima last night, Let's burn all that fat now. Another 10. Ready? Feet together. Open your stance. Go down. Touch the ground. 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Push. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's 20. Trust me, if you're doing it exactly like me, right now, you can feel pressure on your thighs. 20 more. Remember, the first one we did was 40. This one should be 40 as well. After that, take a shower, jump on that vehicle, your bike, your car, and go for work. Let's go. 20 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Woo! I'm burning fat here. Do it. You thank Camnet later. Last one. Let's go, Team Camnet. Let's show them we can do this. Last 10. After this, you can have your coffee and go for work. 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'll do 2 for you, 1 for you, 2 for your wife, 3 for your children, for my producer, 1. Great. That was 40. So you did 2 types of squats. Remember? There was the skill squat and the sumo squat. Now, forget about the names. What's important is for you to do the workout. Right now, I can't even talk properly because I'm working out. I'm burning fats, I'm burning calories, and that's what you ought to do. Every morning, try this. If you miss it in the morning, try to do it in the evening. Remember where I started from? Let's march. Go! And back. We are winding down now. Thank you so much for tuning in to our breakfast show. Please make sure you need to exercise always because you only have one body to carry out your assignments. And I am signing out. I'm Isaac Matsa, and see you.
There you have it. I hope you managed to catch up with Isaac there in terms of doing that exercise or drill. You can make sure that you participate in such interventions because they contribute towards a good health. And just now, I'm going to zoom in some of the stories that are trending in the Camnet main news, which was broadcasted yesterday. So we're going to zoom in one of interesting stories, and that's the story involving Mutotwe Kafwaya. And we'll zoom in on a sports story as well, which will lead us to the next interview with Peter Makembo as we discuss issues pertaining to sports. So we'll go to those 2 stories. Mutotwe Kafwaya, the former Transport and Communications Minister, was admitting some of the challenges, the mistakes they committed during their tenure, as well as the appointment of the coach for Chipolopolo. We are going to zoom in those 2 stories. We'll be back on the other side.
The Patriotic Front Party has since August of 2021 been conducting a post-mortem to understand why they lost the 12th August 2021 general elections. According to the party, the post-mortem has indicated that Kadarism was one of the major contributors to the Zambian people voting the PF government out of office. Former Transport and Communications Minister Mutotwe Kafwaya, who appeared on the Monday edition of National Matters on Camnet TV, has admitted that he contributed to the downfall of the party after failing to follow President Edgar Lungu's directive that Kadarism be stopped.
And he said, you young man, you are in charge of the bus drivers who are having to suffer Kadarism in bus stops and along the routes. Honorable Charles Banda, who was the Minister of Local Government then, was in charge of the bus stop itself and the markets. And then we had Honorable Stephen Kampiongo, who was in charge of law and order. So he charged us, go and end Kadarism. Okay, go and end Kadarism. As we began that, we, somehow we failed to coordinate the activities properly, and execute that presidential directive.
The Lunte constituency member of parliament adds that some party officials became too selfish by flashing money to the public who were suffering, and that such kind of behavior also contributed to the downfall of the party, and says the party is remorseful for its actions and wants the Zambian people to believe in them again. The opposition lawmaker, however, says it has no hatred for any leader in the UPND government, but that it will continue to offer checks and balances to the government to remind them of the promises they made to the Zambian people.
I have no right to hate anyone in UPND, and I hope the UPND, none of the members of UPND would have the right to hate anyone in PF. But because I'm PF, I believe in this political ideology of the Patriotic Front. I have to constantly compare it with the ideology of UPND. That is the only place where we separate. And I think that is the reason for the IO in Parliament, in the National Assembly.
Prudence Chota, reporting for Camnet TV News.
How I make the job to be happy. First of all, my team is not excuse not go to next CAF 2023. It's not excuse because I know my players. I know how we are make to be good. Not only there, every game. This is my job, and I know how I make.
There you have it. That was an update from the Football Association of Zambia, FAZ, where they were appointing the new coach there. And we saw it yesterday, and that was a trending story in the news. Of course, for a long time now, the Zambia national team hasn't have a substantive coach. We have local coaches who have been standing in, and they have come and gone. And now in the studios today, we've been joined by Peter Makembo, who is going to help us discuss this issue of the appointment of the coach and other issues pertaining to football. He also help us discuss the AFCON. Amos.
Good morning, Pastor Peter Makembo.
Good morning. Good morning.
And to our viewers, like Mr. Soko has alluded, we are trying to dwell much into the appointment of one coach who is Asanovic. The appointment was done yesterday by FAZ, and hopefully he will deliver what we want him to deliver. But after, maybe just a quick hint, Mr. Soko, on maybe the career, because a lot of people want to ask, who is he, where is he coming from? His Croatian is from Croatia, Mr. Soko. He participated and won bronze. That was in the World Cup. And he played for countries like, he played in countries like Croatia and in England. Those are clubs. And amongst these teams, he played for clubs such as Montpellier, Metz in France, Napoli in Italy, Derby County in England, Valladolid, Sydney in the Sydney United, and Hajduk Split, where he ended his playing days. And for country, he played for Yugoslavia from 1987 to 1988. And from there, that's when he now joined. I don't know what used to happen back then, Mr. Soko. That's when he joined the Croatian national team from 1990 to 2000.
Yeah,
that's when he had imagine. And then as a coach, he had his stints with the Croatian national team as an assistant coach. And he went on to Lokomotiv Moscow again, where he was an assistant coach as well. And Etihad, Melbourne Knights in Australia. And then he became a technical director with the Zambian national team, and now the head coach of the Chipolo Polo boys. And what do you make of this appointment, Pastor Peter Makembo?
Yeah, in the first place, we're happy that finally Zambia has got a permanent coach, whom, as the way you have given out his history, that's what the public wants to know. Who is he for him to have come at such kind of a position? Because that position, it's a hot seat. It sounds so soft when one is not there, but when the games starts, it becomes so hot. The way you have put it, that is very healthy indeed. To say this is a person that he has come to there. We were looking at it to say perhaps we shall see the numbers of the coaches applying towards our technical bench. Not knowing to say first they were working it underground and they picked the person that you have just mentioned to say this is now the coach for Zambia. It's health that in the first place we have got a permanent coach. I haven't been to football house. I'm here to go there and get more details so that when the fans start asking me, I'm able to give them full information, which I will get from the Football Association, and I would like to know how many had applied, and who are those who had applied for this money to get that position. Otherwise, the move itself is what we have been looking for, and he has been given a 4-year term.
Yes.
Fans are also having their 4-year term. I'm sure they looked at that period
Of time.
Are we seeing change in the way our national team is playing compared to the previous games that we've seen? Because for me personally, he's been part of the management of the team and based on Jambeshi's stint. So I don't know what difference it's going to make when we didn't see that difference, because when you're assisting someone, Mr. Soko, definitely we'll have to see what you have to put in
to offer.
So what difference is he going to make now as a senior head coach?
That is where the problem is. You see, facts are facts, and when we look at that, he has been with the team, both in victory and in defeat. When the technical bench was announced, I looked at where Jambeshi is floating. I didn't see him there. I was hoping to say maybe he could have also been attached in that 4-year plan, so that he can learn from those people, not knowing what other plans maybe fans could have behind our Zambian coaches. Those who can inherit, because that 4-year, it's a lot of time. It's a lot of time. Who is going to learn from that 4-year term? What other plans has FAS put or to empower these local coaches? Because they're there, the knowledge is there. All what they need is just to be schooled. Take them for that 4-year term which you've given to this one. Invest it also in the Zambian personnel, because we have funds are there. Funds are there. If you can give this man, I think that there are 4 of them. If you can give them a 4-year term, the same can also apply down to say, okay, meanwhile we have got this. Let's also train our personnel into those licenses which they are looking at. We have got a very good CV on our coaches bench in Zambia. You mentioned them from the premier to where they are. If you round them, you will know to say those are senior coaches. But what are they lacking for them not to get that position, which we have given the full bench to the expatriate coaches? That is where I've got a problem with it. Now this coach has got he has got part of the beef, because he was there. We lost with him. We lost with him. This is why I'm saying this bench is very hot. And the hotter it is, it needs cooling. And we have got a remedy of cooling with a caution to say, oh, this man, oh, he has been given the job. So our role as fans is to supplement his efforts. Because fans have given him. And I hope we may not have some problems with the government, because government is a major key stakeholder there. We may not, we don't want to see such kind of the problems coming in. And for fans to make that decision to say, we have given him a 4-year term, which means they have seen the positives in him, and that's what we want to grab. To say, okay, with this positiveness, let us see how we can supplement his efforts and the efforts of us.
Interesting stuff there, if you ask me. And talking about the same coaches, we see local coaches also when they are given a chance, Pastor, they don't deliver accordingly, because several times opportunities have been given to local coaches. But again, people have argued on several issues, even including team selection, Pastor. What do you make of that? How can we improve on such aspects as a country?
Very simple. You just need not to move yourself into unnecessary arguments with the fans or with your superiors. You need to pick the team on merit and the performance. Everyone knows if you go to Zanaco, you watch the Zanaco players. If you go to Nkana, you watch the Nkana players. You will know to say that one can fit there. That one can fit there. So if you don't move into those fitness, which people are saying to say, you have left out that person, then you become a suspect. And in that suspect, when you fail to deliver, that's why you find you create a problem with the owners of those teams, because they will tell you to say, you left that one maybe because Anagut Yesa. Now he is this technical bench where we say they do not know much of these players. And for them now to come in, they have to move. They need to be given all the necessary support which has to be given. He has to be mobile. He should not just sit there in the office and then just be doing the calculations. Oh, call this one, call this one. They must move on the ground to say, is he active where he is? Is he playing where he is? Because if he will start be going by names, this is why you find that they will be having a problem with us fans, because when we are drumming support there, our first target is a victor. We are not interested in these calculations, style. Us, we just want a goal. Then we blaze the atmosphere. That is our angle.
I'm going to ask you a very tough question, Pastor Makembo. What does it make you feel that we are watching the World Cup, the Africa Cup at the moment, the AFCON is ongoing, and you are not there to drum up with the support?
In Africa, we have got Coalition Supporters Union, and I'm a member there. And they even called me to say, come to Cameroon and be part of the AFCON. I said, I can't. I can't, because when I'm in the terraces, my first mindset will be talking of drumming. So to who am I going to drum? Perhaps Janska's, when he's referring, maybe I can wave my flag there. So there is my man. It's so painful. Fans everywhere in the world. A fan will need this team to be there. That is what a fan is all about. He will need this team to be there. Whether his team is playing bad, he will say, but Zambia would have been there, or my country would have been there. That is what we are. It's so painful that you see these people coming in, the other fans are there, giving the support to their team. The most thing which upset me so much was when I saw Eto'o moving with the cup on the official opening. That cup there, moving it in the stadium, the whole ground was blazed with that celebration. I substituted Eto'o with my Kamanga there. That should have been Kamanga there.
Looking at the maybe taking you back to the selection of our national team coach. For me, I'm looking forward to seeing one of our own, bloodly Zambian, apply to coach in a different nation for that position. Because we've seen Mr. Soko, the success that we've had as a national team, it was led by Hervé Renard, who is French by nationality. But I'm looking forward to that day. Are we heading in that direction, Pastor Peter Makembo, where we'll see one of our coaches, the likes of Beston Chambeshi, George Rwandamina, applying for these big positions in other countries as national team coaches?
We have already exported Rwandamina to Tanzania. We have also done with the Danka, the president for the Zambia Coaches Association is in Malawi, and many others who traveled to other countries.
Yeah, but I'm looking at coaching the national team.
That is our angle. That is our angle. If these people, they can start moving on the club level, the next they should look at the national
level. Yes.
But those people, they need to see in them what are they capable to produce. We saw some of our personnel moving into those lines, but they need to equip themselves. They need to believe in themselves. Look at the time when we were in South Korea with Besson Chambeshi. We beat better teams there, with our local coach here. There wasn't any expatriate coach there. So if Besson Chambeshi could up his game, he can even apply to German. German, they will say, oh, this is the coach who beat us. They will remember that. So it's just a matter of having your self-confidence and equip yourself with these licenses which they want you to have for you to be on that technical bench. Because FIFA, is it CAF, they have come up with a grading to say they need a certain level of education in their coaching sector. So this is why I was saying, let's empower them with those tactics which they want for somebody to sit on that technical bench. We should not be lacking behind and leave everything to the expatriates. Brain is one brain. The school which they go is the same school that we go. Where are we lacking? We need to be put there, to be pushed there to say, this is where you are lacking. Go into this class and learn.
You see, Mr. Soko, I asked this question because the previous awards that just passed, I think a day before, there was an award given to best coach. And that award was given to the Chelsea coach, Thomas. And an issue arose on social media to say the best candidate to who was supposed, or maybe people felt like Pitsu Motsimani was supposed to get that award because of the success and achievements that he's done at El Ahly. But looking at the people got confused to say he wasn't even amongst the nominees, the 7 nominees that were nominated. So it's more of, you know, when you look at an issue, there was that point that the Liverpool coach Klopp commented on the Africa Cup to say that small tournament. And in as much as we are proud of it, that's the reason why I keep on asking to say we need to start exporting coaches as well. Because the more we are bringing in for best coaches, that's where they feel like this tournament is very small. And now coming back to the same tournament which is taking place, it kick-started on a low base. I'm sure you are watching even if our country is not there. What do you make of the booting out of Ghana yesterday?
That's what happened to Zambia. Zambia in 2012 we won the AFCON. 2013 we failed to defend it. We lost to Ethiopia. So Ghana, they underrated. They underrated the other team. Football has changed today. When you underrate, a game is 90 minutes. That's why for me when I'm on the terraces that side, it's a non-stop. I know to say it's 90 minutes. When you come near me that side, it's something else there. It's a flare. So when you start believing to say no team can beat us, have it in mind to say they're also prepared to beat you. Just as much as you are prepared to beat them. At the end of that timing, then the results count. Today, Ghana is not there. To my fellow fans of the Ghanaians, it's something which is, they can't accommodate that. But it has happened. Just like the way it also happened to Zambia not to be found in that tournament. We just have to accept it. We say, now since it has happened like this, what do we do? Move on and pick the pieces. And those are the angles where I'm coming back to where you are saying, why are we not exporting our coaches? Me, I agree with you. I would love to see our personnel, even coaching German, even coaching Italy. It's not impossible. Just believe in yourself to say, I can do it. There is Gianni. Gianni went and officiated at the World Cup level.
But he reduced the 90 minutes to 89 minutes.
That is the game. That is the name of the game.
Such mistakes are there, Mr. So. we saw an intense game. We saw intense.
Before you get that, I would want us to even look at those fixtures that were played yesterday, so that we get to see the games that were played yesterday, and we look at the fixture in terms of today's fixture. So Amos, there we have
the game that caught my attention was the game between Malawi versus Senegal, Mr. Soko, where we saw the Achimwene boys nearly beating Senegal, because there was a penalty that was awarded by the ref, but VAR pulled it out. And
Zimbabwe also did perform against Guinea, Amos, if you ask me. They managed to get 2-1. Before that, there was another game. Let's look at Gabon, Morocco. They played to a 2-2 draw. And Ghana,
but the most disappointing game, Mr. Soko,
the one you're talking about,
yes, was the Ghana versus Comoros game.
Yes.
Ghana, the Black Stars had all their superstars there. And just to be beaten by Comoros, you know, the world of sports, Mr. Soko, is changing. But for me, and I was drumming up support for the Achimwene boys, who by now stand at third place in their group, and they might qualify as well. Hopefully they make it, because they all stand at 4 points with Guinea. Then Senegal is topping the group with 5 points. So maybe we might see Achimwene proceeding, because we are in the southern region, so we have to drum up support.
So
we wish them the best.
Yeah, so that's the standings, Amos, there. You have Senegal, that is having 5 points. Guinea and Malawi are tied on 4 points. We also have Zimbabwe, 3 points. Zimbabwe, they woke up too late, because yesterday they put up quite
they put up. But here's the funny part, Mr. Sok, and where the confusion comes in. You've seen where Guinea and Malawi stands. If you've seen the goal difference, goals allowed, it's just the same. If you notice the statistics, they are the same. That's the reason why I'm saying possibilities are high that the Achimwene boys will go to the knockout stages. Because there is a place that has to be given to which we call the best losers.
The best losers. Oh, so they may
qualify. Because, okay, imagine you get Guinea, unless if they do head-to-head, because Guinea managed to beat the Achimwene boys at the tournament. So maybe if they calculate it that way. But if it's just like this, how the Achimwene boys are going and they will be a threat, they might just do the 2012 Zambia.
We hope it comes.
There's a possibility they might do the 2012 Zambia. Yeah. But what are we supposed to learn from what happened to Ghana, knowing that they had all their stars, and for us, during the qualifications, we also managed to call all our stars, but we failed. Should we just accept that it's a game of football?
That is a fact. In a game of football, there are 3 results: you win, you draw, you lose. So one of the 3, when it falls on you, it's either you celebrate, the other one it will pain you, but you need to enjoy and come out of it. There is no any other way out there. Men at times, if you see me when I'm drumming support there, even if you were scored, I don't lower my tempo. I make sure that the players they hear that tone to say, But we are down, I'm still blazing. Just to give them the push, you need to accept to say it has happened, but how do we come out of it? That's why the mathematical is there. How do you come out of it?
Exactly.
Not to say, outside, people that are watching you, they believe in you. They haven't eaten just because of this game. For you, where you are featuring, they expect you to deliver. It means defend. Score. That's why I've got strikers. Strikers will never become defenders. Defenders will never become strikers. That's why there is a portion. There is a goalkeeping, defense, midfield, and striking. So those departments, they must be seen performing their duties, which will come into us and celebrate. The good part of the fans, we celebrate like anything. We forget all for the other things. We are not there on breakfast, full breakfast, lunch, and so on. We just maybe eat once. The following morning, your mindset is just kubora. Well, the players, they are on allowance, they are on full diet, full accommodation, the travel arrangements, they've got everything. But to us fans, we don't move into those lines. We just go there just to enjoy the flotation of the
among some players, Pastor, do you think there's enough commitment to play for the national team? Because we see players there who are well known world over, seeking to play for their national teams with passion and commitment. But our boys really are understanding.
Just give an example, Mr. Soko, of Italy. We saw how the Italy were passionate at the Euros.
Exactly.
Even on just singing their national anthem, you would tell that these players are ready to die in the pitch or on the pitch for their country. But I've loved the question that Mr. Soko has. Do we still have such passionate players
it's something
who are proud to wear the national team?
Or maybe they don't understand the value of the national team.
They do understand. It's just the going get stuff on that particular day. For them to be chosen, for them to be brought where they are into that national team. That's why the national team should have some people who could fit the minds of the players, including the bench itself. They must be told what are they there for? What for what? That thing just to be there, to be told psychologically to say, this jersey that you are wearing, or for you to come into this camp, you are presenting millions of the Zambians who are following you just because you are in this team. So when the going gets tough, you should adjust yourself. I liked the behavior of Rena at times. When Rena was hardly sitting, because he knew to say, Pastor Magembo is there,
drumming.
Money, he doesn't need any nonsense from there. At one time I differed with him when he had issued a statement to say Ghana is likely to qualify for the AFCON. Then I said, that's nonsense. You can't say Ghana is going to qualify when you are the coach for Zambia. Meanwhile, at the plane here, Kenya Airline looking for funds to go into Equatorial Guinea to go and drum up support. The late President Michael Chipiat, may his soul rest in peace. When he read that, he sent me with an emergency to Equatorial Guinea. And I went and drummed up, I picked up the funds there. You know, I'm good at that. And God just moved in me, I mobilized the funds. That chalk I came dressing over in and we beat Ghana there. We qualified for the finals. So a player must have that mindset to say, what I'm wearing into now, it's on the population of Zambia. And even those well-wishers, like the way we are wishing Malawi to qualify. Other countries also, they are wishing Zambia to qualify. And they're wishing on you. Answer, we don't score. It's them who's supposed to score. If you count scores for the fans, we score more goals than themselves, the players. The mindset.
Yeah, so this new coach, Amos, has 4 years. In these 4 years, I want to assume, I'm already aware we have the Africa Cup, which we have to make sure we qualify. And I want to ascertain whether the same period falls into the World Cup. When are we having the next edition of the World Cup? If
calculating, because it comes after 4 years, and we had it.
We should be having.
So in short, there are qualifications games that are going to be played.
Yes. So he has to be good as well.
He's required. He's required because you know when you are employed as a coach, you're given targets.
Exactly.
But for him, are those targets part of the 4 years, or it's just a contract for 4 years?
And I want to understand this one, Pastor. You and I know that we are going to have the Africa Cup, and we're also going to have the World Cup. Do we need to sit, relax, or we have to prepare that so that by the time others are waking up, our team would have been sharpened?
This is why I've commended first for them to have put a coach in place, because we don't have that time. You have seen much of the time when the team doesn't perform well, the blame goes to where?
To the
Kamanga.
Yes.
Kamanga,
yes. He's been receiving the blame. Yeah.
No, he doesn't play football. That's why the blame goes. And for him to have come up quickly to put in the technical bench there, that's a very good timing. Because we don't have time to waste here. We have wasted a lot of time. We are wounded because we have missed this AFCON. Then the recent one here, just the way you have put it. Players we have. They're just failing to deliver. Look at the way we played with Guinea, Equatorial Guinea, at their own ground. We had all the full base. We lost. We came in with Mauritania where we said that this will be a very bad walkover. We played our game here. But against Tunisia, something else. The same players. So where is the problem? They need that commitment to say, put on what you are supposed to put on.
Yeah, you know, I loved what Mourinho said when he was talking about his team. You know, he was blaming his team, said they are not eager enough, or they are being too passionate against the strikers. You don't have to be merciful on the striker. You have to make sure that you take over the ball, because if you don't take the ball, they score. And at the end of the day,
that's how it just works, Mr. Soko. That's how it just works. So looking at what Mr. Soko had just asked, we need to see a difference. Like you said, the passion of every night. Hopefully, this is the passion that our new
but I think I saw him on the touchline one day. One of the
that's when people started supporting him.
When he was looking at it, the coach was sitting, and the man was worried, sick. Pastor, just like you insisted.
So, Mr. Soko, I think in that same process, there are World Cup qualifications that he has to play, because the next World Cup that we are having is this year, 2022. So from here, we've got another 4 years, which is 2026. So it's in that same period, because this contract ends in 2026.
Yeah. So
he's got but I think sorry. I think with the way we've employed him, I think we've given him enough time, because most of the times these previous coaches yes. Imagine the qualifications maybe have already started with bringing a coach.
Yeah, like that. Like Sven, like the other one. We had Micho. It was also a long time on
but at some point I felt like even him, we gave him some time. But for this one, I think he has all the time. But anyway, looking another update, Mr. Soko, maybe on the games that are being played today. That's on the AFCON. We've got 2 games today. That's Egypt playing Sudan and Guinea-Bissau playing Nigeria. And the group as well, it's a bit tight. Looking at Egypt, I don't know what's wrong with these big teams at the tournament, Mr. Soko. Because when you look at it,
I think there are teams that have mastered the way they play.
Maybe because we've got Nigeria standing at 6 points after 2 games. Then we've got Egypt standing at 2nd position with 3 points. And we've got Guinea-Bissau with a point and Sudan with a point. So this can go either way for Egypt.
Yes,
for Nigeria, they are safe. But we are looking at Egypt, Mr. Sok. If you see where they start, and they are playing Sudan.
Is Sudan
they stand a chance, because if they manage to beat Egypt, they'll go up on 4 points.
If Nigeria beats Guinea-Bissau there, then Sudan are assured of a place.
You see?
So I think this gets to show that African football is really improving. And the stars are no longer shining. If you see the likes of Sadio Mane, they had to fight their way, but no, there was no way out.
And someone had to.
Sarah is has to also run for.
Someone had to post Mr. Soko to say, do these professional players, do they just want to be putted out and go and make money out there, or what? It's more of, it's more of people have just lost the passion of playing for the national
but
team.
No, I have come to understand that. I think the problem is that at a club level, there is technique that is applied, and there are usually some players who could supply you with the ball accordingly. And if you see African football is too physique, I think Pastor would agree with me. So sometimes the spaces are not usually there in Africa. So if you've noticed. Even I was watching in
Africa, we believe man to man.
Yes, man to man. Zaha could hardly pass through a defender because they were all over him. Maybe it's either he's fouled or they take the ball off him. So you see that African football is very physique. You take Pastor on that one.
For sure, you are right. It's either a man goes, the ball remains.
or the ball goes, the man
remains. So that's the arrangement almost there.
Looking at time, what would you ask for the fans for? Because many a times when the appointment of coaches is done, there are critics, but maybe let's look at the brighter side on this one.
Yes, first to the technical bench, it will be helpful for them to listen to critics which might be coming towards them, and they learn from what they'll be hearing. That's the first thing. That bench is very hot. And to the fans, is that okay? Fans that made the decision to give us that coach, that technical bench. Our role is to supplement their efforts and stand with them, or keep the checks and balances on the technical bench. We'll be approaching our meeting. I'll need to understand what he has got in his mind towards the team, because that team, when it's assembled, now that is our baby. His technical staff, they are our baby. So we will nurture them. We'll give him the direction to say, this is how we want our team to be. And for sure, even himself, he knows to say, for him to be given such kind of the length period, 4 years, anyway, it's not easy. It's not easy. We want a healing. Anywhere in the world, soccer provides a quick healing to its nation. And in there, we are saying, us as the owners of the team, we shall stand with him. We shall stand with all what he wants to be in a positive way. All what we need is
just a quick update on the other games that are there today. We've got our own FAS MTN Super League today being played, and there's a game between Prison Leopards versus Zanaco. And we've got the EPL again, Mr. Soko, where Leicester City will be hosting Tottenham. That's at 21:30. That's Central African time. And we've got Brentford hosting Manchester United. So there are a lot of exciting games today. So all soccer lovers will be kept busy. That's starting at 13 till maybe dawn.
Yeah.
So that's that, Mr. Soko. But anyway, again, we have to watch out because our very own Camnet Stars today, they are playing their first game, which is a friendly game, to be played at Kablonga grounds. They are at Kablonga Boys Secondary School. So hopefully there will be support there. I urge all the parents to go there and support their children, because we'll be there to cover it.
When our players start migrating, that's when Pastor Makembo endows them.
Yes.
Start playing for his for the national team. That's it.
Mr. Zoko, over to you.
We appreciate Pastor for finding time to be part of the program. Be sure to be available when we call you next time.
Thank you very much.
Interesting. For now, we're just going to take a short break. We'll be back shortly on the other side. Stay tuned to Camnet TV.
Camnet TV is becoming big and better. You can now watch Camnet TV wherever you are around the world, simply by downloading the Camnet TV app. With Camnet TV app, you only use less bundles. Camnet TV, not just another channel.
Hello, I'm Deborah Lukalu, all the way from South Africa. You are watching Camnet channel, not just another channel. God bless you. Stay tuned.
And bananas.
Working, waiting, this what you've been praying for.
Welcome back. Thank you for staying with us. You are watching the Camnet Breakfast. Sharon.
Indeed, Patrick. This is the Camnet Breakfast, and I was just looking at the interview you had with Mr. Makembo. Quite interesting. You know, I always get amazed when he's talking about football. His passion is just out of this world, and it makes you want to just get to know more about sports, especially me, football in particular. I'm not so conversant with this, and the language itself is just too much for me. But when I hear him speak and the passion he has towards football, it's just amazing. We were talking about the coach that was appointed yesterday. I didn't know that man has been in Zambia with us.
He has been. He's the man who who was on that famous picture where the actual coach was seated. He was just worried when Zambia were being beaten. and it was part of a technical bench. So those experts. How long I cannot tell, but he has been with us for even a year or so. But he has been with us, especially in this journey for the qualifications. Yeah, he has been he has witnessed some of the games with us. So basically, I think it's been okay. He quite has an understanding, a bit of an understanding, because he got to know some of the players and some of the systems Zambia is using. The selection of the teams, I think, was preview to that.
And 4 years is quite a very long time. I just hope that he takes us to the World Cup. In these 4 years, there will be a World Cup tournament.
There will be they play out for the World Cup, because the next World Cup will be in 2026. Should be, so he should be able to participate in that. And it depends on the performance. If he is going to perform, Sharon, I'm sure that a contract would be extended.
Would be extended or would be terminated.
Yes, that's it just goes like that.
All right, right now we go straight into the money markets to just see how the kwacha is faring against the major convertibles. And the United States dollars was buying at 17 kwacha 10 ngwe and selling at 17 kwacha 43 ngwe. The Great British Pound was buying at 23 kwacha 32 ngwe and selling at 23 kwacha 78 ngwe. The Euro was buying at 19 kwacha 49 ngwe and selling at 19 kwacha 87 ngwe, while the South African Rand is standing at 1 kwacha 10 ngwe and selling at 1 kwacha 12 ngwe. So those are your money markets. And Patrick, you always give a comment when I finish reading these money markets. It's like you have dollars stashed somewhere waiting for it to reach 20 at least, so that you can,
it's a good strategy,
have more money, more money in your pocket.
Yeah, it's a good strategy. I keep some kwachas in dollars. When the dollar performs, I withdraw my dollars.
You have more money
in your pocket. That kind of arrangement. But that tells us how the Kwachas are performing, and especially for business people, those who need, especially those who come from Zimbabwe and other countries who use the dollar. When they come to Zimbabwe, they come and change their dollars into Kwacha, but most of that helps us. It helps in terms of the people knowing, say, this is how the Kwacha is doing. So if I exchange this much, I'm going to have this much. So you're able to plan your budget. So this segment is just there for you as the business community to understand how the currency is performing, so that you can plan your finances. And it also helps us as a country to understand how our currency is performing in terms of our economic growth, because if our economy is going to be doing fine, then our currency will be improving by the day. And for now, we have continued to see it perform within the range of 16 against the US dollar. It hasn't fluctuated to 17 or 15 yet, but we'd be happy if it is 14 or even 10.
Even 5 kwacha. The example that almost everybody has to give, especially those in the political world, to say no, the dollar was one time 5 kwacha, but I don't think we'll go there. But anyways, these are issues
but 10 would be very remarkable progress.
Also, to make mention that these exchange rates are variable depending on which institution. So those are for a specific institution. Other institution would have different rate, but they range within that. Yes, there would be probably a difference of maintaining ways and stuff. Yes. So they are within that range, and in case you want to change those monies into kwacha, you will note that they will be within a certain range.
Yeah, interesting there. And we're going to zoom in on one of the stories, Shalon, that was making the headlines in our news. The story coming from the United Party for National Development, UPND, youths who are claiming that they are going to take the law into their hands because they feel people are taking it for granted and insulting the president. There, you can also add your comments and contribution to that topic of discussion, which we think you can also
add your voice and actually refer to what the head of state has been talking about with regards to violence and propelling it. And these are his party members. And the person who was actually issuing that statement was a National Youth Chairman for the party. That's not a small position. No. You know, he has some sort of influence, and when he speaks, people will listen. In an event that they listened, and they started going for citizen arrest, how many people would be arrested, you know? So basically, let's just look at that story, then you on the other side can send us those text messages as well as call us in the studio and give us your comment with regards to that story. Patrick, obviously you also had zoomed into the other DP story as well.
Not yet, we'll zoom into
we'll
that
also be zooming into the Democratic Party story, and that as well deserves your comment out there. Let's just look at the first item regarding the United Party for National Development, filed by Prudence Chota.
Social media has over the past weeks been awash with videos, posts and write-up targeted at attacking the Republican President Hakainde Hichilema. Others, such as the Patriotic Front chairperson for information Raphael Nakachinda, were unlucky and ended up in police cells for the offense of defamation of the president, which Mr. Nakachinda defended, saying he made reference to an ancient Bemba wisdom. The United Party for National Development, UPND youths, are however not happy with the attacks targeted at the president and have warned that they will take matters in their own hands and beat any person who will personally insult the president.
If you're going to insult Derek Hakainde Hichilema, who beat you, I'm not joking here. I don't need even the police to come in. I never depend on the police when in opposition. We depend on our own. You attack Hakainde direct as an individual, come to direct as an individual. Just attack the government, attack UPND, attack Hakainde as a president. But if you go as an individual, I'm telling you, you won't even walk free in Lusaka, wherever you're going. And you stop it. I've said, time of taking people to the police, not now, because of defaming, no. We'll just follow you up and teach you a lesson. We were in the opposition, some of us. I never insulted Mr. Edgar Chagwaro.
Meanwhile, police spokesperson Ray Hamonga could not respond to the warnings by Mr. Liswaniso by broadcast time as he was attending a meeting. And Mr. Liswaniso has also warned youths in the party not to take matters to the media whenever they are aggrieved, but use the right channel to communicate.
But it will be again a mistake for us as UPND leaders that we rush and go to the media, attack your own political party, your own leaders. I think as a National Youth Chairman, I will become unpopular and to say no to it. I would rather become unpopular as a National Youth Chairman to say no to it. If we have got issues with leaders, we have the Secretary General. He can summon any minister, any PS, and talk to them.
The question that then should be asked is, should freedom of expression entail insulting those in authority, and is beating up those who attack the head of state the right way to handle the matter? Only time will tell. Prudence Chota, reporting for Camnet TV News.
Welcome back. So that is one of the stories that we are zooming in. As I mentioned earlier, you too can send us those text messages and call in and give us your contribution. This is a youth leader who is seemingly telling his youths countrywide to say they should effect citizen arrest for people that are insulting the head of state or are speaking ill, rather, of the head of state. Now, these are sentiments that we've quite heard from a number of people, especially those, Patrick, in the political world, calling the head of state different names. This is not the first time, though. I mean, almost all heads of state have been called names. When you are on that position, you expect people to dislike or like you, to call you these, not necessarily that they mean what they say, but probably they are just politicking.
Yeah, but I agree. Much as their sentiments are ill,
yeah,
it is also not right to insult the head of state.
No, it's not.
Because now they're taking it personal. But because there should be boundaries to that, because you can criticize him for failing to deliver according to his promises. But I don't think anyone has the right to insult anyone. Even
what a caller. Hello, good morning. Hello.
Hello.
Good morning, thanks. Tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
I'm calling from Ghana. I'm from
Yahoo?
Chikoa.
Chikoa, please go ahead with your contribution.
Yes, I'm asking before the discussion about the national thing court. My observation that those who are appointed are already courted. Why can't the party also attach the two standards so that they can learn? Then those foreigners go, they will really some expertise in our local people. That's my concern.
Interesting.
Right,
so we'll find out about that.
We will, yeah, definitely.
I think that's the conversation we were having with Mr. Makembo and Amos Lungu there. But if you ask me, I think the Football Association of Zambia should be having a bench that also comprises of the local people. Usually they do that. Even the technical man or a director would be a local person.
When last
even him was assisting our local coach based on Chambeshi. He was an assistant. He was part of the bench. So the bench usually comprises of many people, Sharon, but we just have to verify the people who are part of the bench so that we can provide accurate information. If not, we also ask first if that is part of the consideration. Yeah, that's a contribution there about the interview we're just having. We were talking about that other issue, Sharon, about, I was explaining to you that providing checks and balances does not mean insulting.
No.
There's also what we call positive and constructive criticism.
Wow. We have another caller. Let's just speak this. Hello, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Fine, thank you.
Yeah, we want to contribute over what the chairman of UPND is saying.
Tell us your name and where you're calling us from, sir.
Jonasi Mukuma, calling you from Livingston.
All right, please go ahead.
You see, that is very unfortunate. The problem that is in UPND now is that everyone is talking so that they get jobs. You see, that one is the chairman. He wants to divert. They were saying that they were going to empower youth. Now they want to divert that notion into being staggering. They want to put the into activities of violence so that they forget about the soliciting for youth empowerment. That is very, very unfortunate statement that can come from a person like him, who calls himself a UC national chairman. It's not supposed to be like that. All Zambians must condemn with a statement that's openly spoken by him. When people are speaking against the leadership of a government or of a party, they must be able to listen. Because even right up now, let me tell you what is happening. Most of the UPND people, they are not seeing that things are not changed. Things are wrong. Things are hard. You know, the economy is hitting them. So they also act a negative statement. If they were given a platform to speak openly, they will no longer speak as they spoke last time in the first half of the UPND. They are speaking negatively right up now. If it means the election was to come now, I know that 1 million votes they won against you. It has been reduced. So let me Swamiso retract that statement, saying that the time has come, we are not going to report to the police. No. That is wrong. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. God bless you too, Patrick.
Yeah.
We were still talking about offering proper criticism and not insulting the presidency.
Yes, but no one has the right to undermine the president's pronouncement as well, to say he wants to govern this country by the rule of law. And disregarding the police process means going against the pronouncements by the head of state that he wants to govern the country by the rule of law, because now it will be the rule of man, because you want to take the law into your hands. You understand, Sharon?
Yeah.
Because if I say, because no wonder the police are doing their job. Those who are committing crimes, if you have noticed, they are facing the law investigative wings at them. And if you've noticed in the recent past, even that same pronouncement that was made by Mr. Nakachinda, where he was allegedly insulting the president using a Bemba idiom, which has brought a lot of controversy, if you ask me. Yes, so but that was also, others say it is tantamount to abuse of idioms, because sometimes some idioms are not applicable. But the police are doing their work by ensuring that they follow the proceedings of that issue. If everyone else is going to take matters into their own hands, Sharon, it will mean the country becomes ungovernable.
Exactly.
And we will be taking ourselves back to what many people who have been calling this program have been saying, to say we liberated ourselves from some of the challenges. But again, we'll be taking ourselves back to the same process. So I think you too can add your voice so that we get listening to what you think about such sentiments being made by leaders of the governing political party on the political side. In this case, it was Mr. Gilbert Liswaniso who was making the headlines, if you ask me, for wrong reasons.
Yeah. What a time to be covering this this political party where its members up to here, for lack of a better term, up to the neck. You know, we've got a number of issues that the UPND youths are complaining about. I was following actually the briefing. He talked about another thing, which was like trying to calm the members in the party, saying the president knows what he's doing with regards to appointing people. He cannot appoint everybody at once, and at the same time, if you're not qualified, obviously there's something that will be found for you to do. It's basically about empowerment. But then this is an issue that has been all over social media, UPND members complaining, you know, to say, no, this man has put us Gwaya, you know, this common phrase Gwaya and stuff, after fighting for him. It's countrywide actually. So that was one of the issues that he addressed, trying to calm the members. But one of the most serious issues was this, which he issued, which we ran to say there will be effecting citizen arrest. And
Not citizen arrest. You are massaging that.
And I'm trying to use formal language.
Threatening violence.
Yes, basically.
And if you see, Pudeswata made an attempt in that story to engage the police, because under normal circumstances, Sharon, people would be summoned for threatening violence. Because you see, how can someone threaten you to say you won't be passing through the streets of so like that statement was a bit strong.
And the police will not do anything, meaning what? You are practically not respecting the authority that be. The police is mandated to maintain law and order and to protect life and property. But then if you bypass them, you decide to do it, meaning you're forming your own military as cadres. And this is something that we actually, I'm just going to be blunt here. This is something that we experienced in the previous regime, where political party cadres were all over wearing combats, you know. They became like a military regime of their own. And they took them into their hands. Is this what we want? Is this what the people want? Is this what people really voted for? No, I don't think so. So this is something that everybody, I think, should actually look at, and maybe he didn't mean it that way. Maybe he'll explain further to say, no, maybe I didn't mean it that way. But clearly the message was loud and clear. They will actually affect what I'm calling citizen arrest. I'm trying to massage it.
Yeah,
I'm trying to use a better term. Threatening violence.
Yeah. We're going to take another caller. You are through to Camnet TV.
Hello, good morning. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from. Your line is pretty shaky. Kindly stand on a better position. Okay, just go ahead with your contribution. Maybe we do it that way.
Because the president what he's doing.
Okay, so let's do this. Just hang up and call us again. The line is pretty bad. We can hardly hear anything from what you're saying. So,
wow, we zoom in another story, Sharon, from the Democratic Party. We'll be back on the other side shortly so that we continue with our conversation. You can contribute to any of the stories, even the sports segment where we're talking about the newly appointed Chipolopolo coach. So, we'll be back after this story done by Blessings Chakwila on the Democratic Party.
In addition to the wrangles that have continued in the Democratic Party, where Harry Kalava and Judith Kalemba-led factions prepare the field candidate on the party ticket to contest the Kawata by-elections on February 3rd, 2022, Democratic Party President Harry Kalava has accused Special Assistant for Politics Levin Ngoma of influencing the Registrar of Society in decision-making. Mr. Kalava has called on Mr. Ngoma to desist from getting the Registrar of Society to stand for the other camp allegedly claiming to own DP.
Republican President, through his Special Assistant for Politics, Levin Ngoma, has elected to get involved in the activities of the Democratic Party. When the information of the President's involvement in the DP was brought to my attention late last year, I reluctantly called the President and asked him to keep away from the internal activities of other political parties, as that was and is tantamount to abuse of his office as a Republican President. The President categorically denied any involvement or sponsoring anyone to destabilize the DP. It is, however, of great concern that while the President continues to refuse his involvement and sponsoring anyone to destabilize our party, his Special Assistant for Politics has been having meetings with the Registrar of Societies as well as the suspended members of the Democratic Party. As a matter of fact, the same Special Assistant, Levin Ngoma, had a meeting with those DP renegades.
Mr. Kalava has also challenged the head of state, Hakainde Hichilema, to allow political parties operate independently.
The same Special Assistant has even been having meetings with the staff from the Registrar of Societies to try and influence their decision and get them to favor the other group that is purporting to be the owners of the DP in clear contravention of the law of the land. Why should the president's assistant go and get consent? Because we are aware and we have sight of a letter which Madam Mende wrote yesterday, confirming, Madam Mende should refuse if she wants us to prove that later, confirming that Precious Ntambu is the legitimate national secretary. She wrote that letter to the Electoral Commission of Zambia yesterday. Upon the intervention of the president's assistant, that the president doesn't want the DP to participate in the elections, Madam Mende quickly wrote another letter to the Electoral Commission of Zambia.
Efforts of getting a comment from both parties accused the Registrar of Society and Mr. Levin Ngoma could not materialize by broadcast time. Blessings Chakwila, Camnet News, Lusaka.
Welcome back. You are watching the Camnet Breakfast Wednesday edition with me, Patrick Soko, and Shalon Kalimbula, and we've been discussing pertinent stories on zooming the headlines. We talked about the one involving the UPND, and we just from zooming the story from the Democratic Party Harry Kalaba camp. And that's
I like the Harry Kalaba camp because they don't want to be called factions. You know that, right?
Yeah.
Either of them don't want to be called factions, but this is a story that keeps ballooning by the day. They just
that now we have a by-election again. It just started afresh, you see. So nominations are ongoing today, and we're going to be we're going to go to that center so that we go and monitor some of the activities.
Exactly.
Yeah, and we'll see if the DP will manage to file in the nomination.
Last time they failed due to the wrangles and misunderstanding that they had both sides. Both what did you call them?
This camps, but they are faction in reality.
Yes. Both camps took their. Let's just speak this. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, madam.
Good morning, thanks. Tell us your name and where you're calling us from. Mwanza? Kukabwe. Okay, kusema konkanya hapo mkwai. All right, Patrick, that is a comment from Kawe. This is the second call from Kawe.
Yeah.
So Kawe is watching. Thank you so much. And you two out there who's watching us from wherever across the country and beyond, on whatever platform that you're using to get through to us. Thank you so much. This is The Breakfast Show, and we are still zooming into some of the stories that made headlines. We zoomed into the UPND story, and earlier we talked to Peter Makembo over the sports issue. It is a very hot topic.
Yeah,
it's still hot, obviously, this week. And a little after that, we zoomed into the Democratic Party, and we were talking about the nominations that are going on today. And last time, Patrick, you know, they failed. We were on the ground. They failed, and Precious Ntambu, from the DP, the Kalaba faction, the Kalaba camp, almost cried, you know, when she was giving us the interview to say, no, we have failed because of this and that. So we surely hope that this time around,
yes,
they resolve their differences and they are able to work together. Prior to this same nomination, I think that was the day before yesterday, one of the members from the Kalaba camp was reacting to Judith Kabemba. She had issued a statement. I'm not sure if it's authentic, though. she issued a statement on social media saying we are ready to work with the Calabar camp, but her statements of as of yesterday don't really seem that she's the one who wrote that statement. You know, there's a lot of this and that, but we surely hope that they will be able to resolve these issues and work together. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
I'm from
Please go ahead.
Yes, I just wanted to say something from the guy about the
Please go ahead and kindly speak up.
Yes, I wanted to say that if you continue, they are no bad. Because they the evaluation of the Mapasita formula. From Mapasita formula, you can't the experience violence until they are that now the Mapasita formula that is for now, we need to stop for Mapasita formula. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. Continue watching and spreading the word for us. The story of violence, Patrick, keeps popping up, and we appreciate your views and comments.
Yeah, you can also, Sharon, get to read some of the stories, the text messages that have been posted on our Facebook page, so that we get to see how people are interacting with us on the breakfast show.
Your eyes are better than mine. Please go ahead.
Yeah. So we have Mary Mulenga there. That would be organism. Let them find other means that and not resort to beating up those who insult. Least we turn into savage country. A savage country there. That's a comment there from Mary Mulenga.
And Hagai Hagaminza said it is the statement from the UPND as a party or from an individual who just belongs to the UPND party. I seek your clarity. All right, so another message is coming from, this is just scrolling on our screen.
Let's get to Richard Peary.
He says, in as much as insults are not good, there are many ways to handle this rather than beating up people. Beating won't help. And Mubanga Peter says, Tim Jones, it's childish now. When PF was in power, it was professional, right? That's a question that they're asking each other, replying to each other's text messages. So these are some of the messages that we have received on our Facebook page. You two out there can equally do the same. Send the messages, call us in the studio and have your voice heard. Speak for yourself. We're not here to speak for you.
Yeah, exactly.
We're just offering you a platform to actually have your voice heard. Now, Patrick, like I was saying, we surely hope that the DP this time around will manage to file in their nomination. They seem eager. And last week and the other week, they've been, even before this election was cancelled, they were eagerly anticipating to participate, and now that it was cancelled and rescheduled, it actually worked to their advantage, and we hope that this time around, which is today, they will manage to file in their nomination. And Patrick, you may be not aware, when I woke up, I think around 4, because sometimes I wake up quite early, I bumped into this audio recording of allegedly Levi Ngoma, who is President H.H.'s assistant, and Mr. Ricky Akafumba from the Ministry of Home Affairs Permanent Secretary, having a conversation over these accusations that DP had yesterday over this Mr. Levi Ngoma. So we're not sure how authentic those audios are, because, with the coming in of technology, I may be able to alter your voice to make it sound like it's you, and say things that may be incriminating in one way or the other. So that audio is actually circulating on social media, but we are not authenticating that. Maybe you can look at it and listen to it and judge for yourself. Basically. Yeah,
but going from what Democratic Party President Idrissa embattled, because he's facing court processes, Ari Karaba said, Sharon, he was categorical when he stated that he feels Mr. Levi Ngoma is interfering into the affairs of their own political parties. According to him, he claims that they have been having meetings with the Judith Kabemba camp. That's the and for the Harikaraba camp, they refer to them as a group of just three selfish individuals. But even the other camp has also been accusing the other groups of being illegitimate. But all in all, Sharon, we also made attempts to engage Mr. Ngoma so that we get to the bottom of that matter, to understand the issues pertaining to the Democratic Party, so that if he can clear himself. And we still want to get his side of the story, because at the end of the day, he has to also provide clarity on that.
Yes, and the reporter was covering the story, Patrick Blessings. She first went to the registrar of societies in the morning, because the party had rushed there to confront the registrar. They had a closed-door meeting. The media wasn't allowed to capture the meeting, obviously due to one or two reasons. But then when the meeting was done, they were also not given audience by the registrar to say, okay, either denying or accepting, to say, we've been meeting the other camp of the Judith Kabembas of that world, and the other man, Nkonge, is it Nkonge? That's
Yes.
Nkonge, yes. So they were denied audience. So what do you make of such, you know? You have been accused, you've been given the right to reply, and then you refuse to comment. Honestly, yes, us in the media, we say no comment is fair enough for me to write, you know, but then I think there was more that could have been done, at least to just say something over this accusation. But then we couldn't manage to get both ends, the living gomas of that world and also the registrar of societies, but we will still follow up the story and ensure that it reaches its logical conclusion. So this is the Breakfast Show, and you two out there can send in your contributions, call us and give us your comments, not only on the stories that we've zoomed in, but also other pertinent issues that you feel need to be addressed by the authority or any other person. You can also call in to just complain, or maybe tell us what's happening in your area and where you're watching us from, even just to greet us anyways. We love the greeting.
Exactly. Yeah.
We love the greeting. Even just to greet us.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Like Sharon has stated there, you can send in to greet us. We have a conversation around issues. There's also another interesting story that happened in Monze, where we saw several houses flooded in Monze town.
Exactly, Monze, and that is Monze urban and Manungo area. And this is a similar situation, Patrick, countrywide. Most areas, when it rains, it just gets flooded to capacity.
Yeah, before we go to that story, we'll take this call.
Hello, good morning. All right. He didn't even want to tell us his name. He just wanted to...
Just wait into the conversation.
He just wanted to speak.
And I just wonder how he managed to get past you.
I don't know.
Okay.
Okay, speak. This is the audience. So yeah, let's go straight into that story and look at how some of the areas have been affected with regards to this late rainfall that the country has experienced. Let's look at that story.
Following heavy rains on Tuesday, several houses in Manango Ward, Monze district have been left flooded. During a check by the council, district council chairperson Paul Montengona has attributed the development to the lack of proper drainage system in the area.
But the only challenge that we have is the drainage itself. So what we are going to do immediately, the rain stops raining, we are going to move in as a council to unblock the drainages so that we can have free flow of water from the other side and to the other side of the town. But the most challenging thing which we have discovered, we don't know the engineers that they used as the consultants to do these roads. They didn't do the proper drainages. The drainages that are here, they are very small.
Meanwhile, District Commissioner Mwanza Malambo has assured the residents that the situation will be restored as soon as possible.
This system of drainages is addressed too. So it's the duty of the council we look into it, we see that the drainages are worked on so that houses are not submerged in water. Otherwise, we are here to appreciate the situation. As it is raining now, many of these people are in water. All the same, things will be addressed too, as the council chairman said. We appreciate the fact that the people are able to see that it is purely drainages which have caused all this calamity. Otherwise, all the same, things will be well addressed.
Alex Shimba, Camnet News, Monza District.
Wow.
You see,
It reminds me of the story you did in Lusaka, in Mississippi area where people were relocated. I think we need to go and follow up that story.
We need to go there.
We need to go and see if at all it's a similar situation this year.
Yeah, because I remember when me and my personal camera person, Amos Lungu, when we went there, we found people getting sand from, there's a hill nearby, and they were trying to make sure that their houses were elevated higher, Sharon, in a format where when they take the soil inside the house, the sand inside the house, then they almost half up to the window level.
Half a roof.
Yes, then they want to remove the rooftop to extend upwards. That was a process.
Let's pick this call, Patrick. Hello, good morning. Where are you calling us from? Tell us your name, please. From Lusaka? Okay, please go ahead with your contribution. Sorry? You just wanted to greet us?
Yeah. You were asking for the greetings and you were amazed the greeting has come. Thank you very much. We received it.
How are you? I'm fine and you? Good, thanks. We are happy that you've called to greet us. Thank you so much. Where are you calling from exactly in the area? In Matero. In Matero, how is the flood situation, the water situation? Come again? How is the flood situation, if at all the rains have affected you, or do you have water? Because Matero has been a hive of stories with regards to water. No, it's okay? Yes. All right, thank you for calling us. Thank you.
Thank you, good day. Yeah, that was
my goodness.
A caller from Matero.
Yes.
Sending a greeting there.
Yeah, you heard. Don't just be silent.
So like we were saying, Sharon, that was a format that we were exposed to, me and Amos. And we have to go and see if the rains have not, they've managed, that strategy has worked to their advantage.
What about the outside? Was the outside also
even the outside was being elevated as well. They wanted to take a level that was from the house, taking it through the entire compound. So it's quite a huge process, yes. But they said if we don't manage, we'll go to the tents, and if then we'll continue the process after the rainy season. Because what these people did, Sharon, they told us that when the Disaster Management and Mitigation Unit, DMMU, had resolved that they were no longer in need of support after the situation had normalized, those guys opted to take the tent. They said we had to take the tent because we thought it was not pointless for us to be requesting the DMMU to give us tents again. So all the affected houses, we shared the tents, and when the rainy season comes, we'll go and erect the same tents at the same vicinity. So we're going to check on that location so that we get to understand. But Sharon, this is a story that we've been doing on various angles because it talks about where the construction of houses is being done at undesignated places where it is a Richard zone. You go and build a house where they're supposed to be, let's say there are these water and sanitation company pipes under. You go and put your facility there. So you discover that in that locality we're talking about, Mississippi Sharon, water was coming underground. This is because the water table is high, so you don't expect water to sink when it cannot sink anymore. It has to come out.
It has to come out.
Yes,
That's coming out in the house.
Yes,
one of the stories that you did also was where water was coming from outside, inside into the house,
into the house,
bubbling like that.
Yeah, so those the incidents
quite
are
a
there.
story side, and these are stories that do not only happen in Lusaka, like the story that we watched earlier that was in Monze, where the houses have been submerged, where even if you're removing the water from the house, using a dish or something, the water outside is just overwhelming, and that is very dangerous, especially if it's an electrified house. Having water like that, it's quite endangering. And the council chairperson for Monze and Monze Town Council and the district commissioner there went to just look at the situation, and at least there was some assurance. We just hope that the authority and the powers that be will look into their plight and maybe relocate them, because this is just the start of the rains. I remember our rain season this year started very, very late, so we are expecting maybe more rains, maybe more heavy rains than it was. Now imagine that situation, and then it keeps raining for the next 4 or 5 days. I think it was the other week just there in Monze where some people were carrying a coffin on their shoulders, and they were walking in water which was almost reaching their waist. It was also a very, very sad state of affairs, not realizing that it would reach this far, that houses actually in urban areas like Monze urban would also experience such. So we hope that the authority will look into that. But then Katushinga planning because these things
you see, we are a victim of poor planning. If you ask me.
Hello, good morning. Hello. Hi, how are you? I'm okay. Where are you calling us from? Chilala from Mtendere.
She's a female.
Is it? Are you female? I'm sorry to ask this.
Are you a woman?
Are you a mama? I'm excited. You have no idea. We can hear you. Please go ahead.
Oh,
just move away from the TV
set. You can move away from the TV set. Yes. Or switch it off.
She wants to hear herself speak. Okay.
Yes, switch it off. Yes, you will be able to come to talk with us, sir.
Yes, please go ahead. Yes. Hello. How can the only female?
The only female.
The only female do this
Since
to me.
Sharon and I have been on this stage.
Exactly. No, she needs to call back. You need to call back. I need this call.
Yes, because she was going to explain to us something pertaining to Mutendere.
Yes.
Yeah,
exactly.
that's.
No, you can still call us back and give us that contribution that you wanted to relay to us. So, Patrick, you were saying we are a victim of poor planning.
Yes, we as a country we haven't been planning very well. We'll talk about as a city. We live in Lusaka, Sharon, you and I. But before that, we could take this call.
Hello? Please go ahead. Yes.
Yes, we can hear you. Can you go ahead?
Okay.
Okay.
Which side of the dairy? D section?
D section.
Okay, for how long?
Okay. Okay.
Oh,
okay. So now we'll get hold of your contact so that Okay. So we have to get hold of your contacts, and maybe probably our crew can come that side. You can interact with them. Yes. Thank you for calling. Well, Shalon, I think this is Mtendere. Mtendere, if based on the stories that I've done in the past, Chawama, John Leng, Kanyama, Karikiliki, Mtendere, Kabanana, all these areas, Sharon, in the past we've gone there to do stories on floods. And in Mtendere, the area she's talking about, we've also been there to do similar stories. And what an important part is that now we have the Minister of Water and Sanitation, who is also coming
Munali
from
Member of Parliament,
yes.
which Mtendere sits in Munali.
Yeah, so we are going to invite him in one of our segments. So we'll make arrangements for that. So that, I think even our caller requested that we host him so that they can also ask some pertinent questions.
Yes,
so we're going to do that so that we'll give you an opportunity to be able to interact with your area member of parliament, who is Mike Imposha, so, and also Minister of Water and Sanitation there, yes, doubling there, and huge responsibilities, if you ask.
Indeed, huge responsibility. It's a yearly thing. I'm not even sure what they are going to do to just rectify the situation. The previous administration, actually, the DC said, we need to relocate you. Why do you insist on staying?
We can take you to
Shivuyunji. There are places which are non-flooded there. So, you know, but then people are used. These are their houses.
Where can we take Sharon to Shivuyunji?
Well, I think I wouldn't mind.
With your TV romance, are you sure?
TV romance.
Are you sure?
Are you okay today? You've got so many friends.
I'm good.
I was your personal camera person. You just called Harry Kalavari Camp. You just called me at the.
But at least there is no speculation apart from facts that I've just stated.
Anyway, you caught me off guard on that.
Yes. We can bet on that. So we're going to zoom in one more last story on our zoom in segment, which is a story coming from Chiwombo. Let's say in this locality where people are concerned over the issue of the social cash transfer, Sharon. There's this interesting woman who is 101 years old, and she complained that she hasn't been on the social cash transfer scheme. This is a program which the government has been implementing to cushion people, especially affected by various social and economic challenges, and it has been implemented by various administration, and the Patriotic Front administration had scaled it up, and we also saw the PF administration upscaling the same program, the UPND administration rather upscaling the same program to over 1 million beneficiaries. From over 800,000 so in the past. So that's quite a huge number of beneficiaries there, and the allocation has been increased to over 6.2 billion kwacha in terms of the money allocated towards social protection interventions, which include the food park program where children are being fed in schools, other social interventions like access to health and education. So that's quite a huge number in the 2022 national budget towards social protection, Sharon, though others have argued that it has been eroded because of what you may term the escalating cost of living in the wake of high inflation rate. Exactly. So we are going to play that story as our last story on Zoom in the headlines so that we get interacting on the other side.
Yeah.
The social cash transfer scheme has been a very useful program to safeguard the plight of underprivileged citizens in the country. Under the Patriotic Front PF administration, the scheme was not without challenges, and the most common ones being the untimely and unpredictable payments, as these beneficiaries would attest in a situation where they could not redeem their money without any proper explanation from authorities.
Mutizemba bakola 400 paka mutizemba batu kufika na lero ine shafo kakolo wanu ngwe nombenda mayandi ya kwinga na sabati yo kafoyela pamo nombenda la mayandi ya kwisa so ndiye ipusha
zabwera 16 niende pa booth atiya izachita expired zabwereramu kuri bamene banatuma futa apa 800 yenze yabwera 24 hours futi ati yayabwereramu manje sitiziba vochita ati endani kusoso ofeya tabwera kusoso ofeya ati yayi endani kunyumba bazatuma na 16 ndiye mwamini wanachitira manje kaya.
Taking over from the PF, the United Party for National Development UPND administration acknowledges that the scheme was characterized by high administration costs, delayed payments, and misappropriation, but Finance Minister Stumbeko Msokotwane has assured to address these challenges. According to the 2022 national budget, the number of beneficiary households under the program will be increased to over 1 million from 880,539 as of the end of August 2021. The transfer value per household will be increased from 150 kwacha to 200 kwacha per month. For households with severely disabled members, the transfer value will be increased from 300 kwacha to 400 kwacha per month. At the age of 101 years, this woman, based in Chombela village of Katuwa constituency in the Central Province, is not on the social cash transfer scheme.
Then abani bambuye ngasala mulea baina 101 manje buta amene ipezeka kometi nkala like ine tilima chalo tikalima milisi amene talima kalima kwa yambiri tikagulisa nje mame tupeza tundalama tosunga bambuye aba then ya social cash transfer benangu bakola benangu sibakola like kuli bambuye aba nabalemba inapezeka kuti zina sinachoka.
They say with the prevailing high cost of living, they have been facing numerous problems. Hence, the fund would go a long way to alleviate some of their problems. One can only hope that these ward women will be incorporated into the program to help cushion them. Patrick Soko, Camnet News.
There you have it, there where we were talking about the social cash transfer scheme, where this woman wants to be incorporated. She's actually 101 years old, Sharon.
Exactly, 101. That's she has lived, and God has been keeping her. But I don't know why I want to laugh, because I'm joined by
Elijah Chifita, our floor manager, the man controlling and taking your calls.
You know the man who always makes me look in a certain way sometimes. You know,
it's my job.
Like
Sharon.
no,
Job
Elijah, to make me look ugly?
No. I always make you look good. No, Sharon, I always make you look good.
No, but you know, I'm nice in person.
Tomorrow we're back in the studios again.
I'm nice in person, but sometimes it makes me look as
but I think you should actually do what she wants you to do, make her ugly.
Yeah, I think tomorrow when we get back into the studio, that's
all right.
my job.
Yeah. So, but anyways, this is Elijah Chifita, and his name always crows as floor manager. I don't know what he manages.
I manage you guys,
So Elijah, because this is a breakfast show, we just zoomed into the last story, and we are in the dying minutes of our show. What's your quick comment on the story that we just played?
Yeah,
a lady that is 100, yes, 101, and she's saying there's a bit of actually the one who was talking more is the grandchild to that old lady, and she was saying there's a bit of corruption here and there because they've tried to apply for this scheme, but they have not been put on the list. So your quick comment on that.
The most important thing that I want to ask the question is, what is the criteria that they're using to add these people onto the list of the people who are beneficiaries of the social cash transfer? Because if you have a woman who's 101 and she's not on the list, then what people do you have on that list? Like what's the age? Because that woman definitely has to be on that list. She doesn't need to be put on the news for her to appear on the list. You get it? For her, I feel the government just needs to look into this issue, because to be honest with you, a woman who's at 101 needs more help than somebody who's at 60, 70 and everything. She can't do a lot of things on her own.
I mean, she can't.
So she needs that help. So As for me, I'm urging the government to look into that matter. Because believe you me, I'm becoming your source.
He's urging!
I'm becoming your source. So I'm urging the government to look into that matter because, you know, our elderly people, they are the ones who have the history of this country. They are the ones who have the history of this country, they have the knowledge of this country. So if we don't take good care of them, then we are neglecting that history. You get it? So we just have to look into that matter and make sure that we get that lady.
Thank you. After all.
Thank you, Mr. Chifita, for your elaboration.
The authority, please. By Elijah, let me start age. You know? Urge. Actually use the correct word, urge.
Yes. The next time I'll be sitting with
I'm urging, yes, I'm urging the authority to look into the plight of this woman. My God, Elijah has learned how to speak English. We are in the closing minutes, Patrick. Concluding remarks.
Yeah, well, thank you for staying with us. We are happy that you could find time to watch the Camnet Breakfast Wednesday edition, which is anchored by Patrick Soko and Sharon Kalimbula on a Wednesday and Thursday. And we are going to come with another interesting episode tomorrow, where we look forward to interacting with you as you contribute towards the conversation on the topic of discussion that we're going to put there. Sharon.
Indeed, like we always say, the conversation need not end after the breakfast show ends. You can still continue to send us those text messages on our Facebook page. You can rewatch this broadcast and send us those contributions. We value your comments and whatever criticism that you may wish to bring to the fore. They build us at the end of the day. We value your viewership. Thank you so much for choosing Camnet TV. We will be back tomorrow with yet another exciting edition of the breakfast show, dubbed or anchored on policy and politics. My name is Sharon Kalimbula. Good morning.